this is gonna be my personal list, greatest games of all time, in my opinion, that helped shape me as a person, as a streamer, content creator, anything like that. And what I truly love, from going from my childhood up to now and what's come out. So it's gonna be very exciting. This list is probably gonna maybe surprise you, shock some of you, maybe not some of you that really know me. We'll see. So this might be obvious to some of you guys that know me really well enough. Maybe not. But I think, first thing we gotta get out the way is, because I grew up on Capcom, Street Fighter 2. Street Fighter 2 is definitely in here. That definitely makes the list, right? First Street Fighter I really fell in love with, this automatically goes on here. Another one from back in the day that some of you may not realize that it really helped mold me as a kid, and it was super impactful to me and wonderful to me. Super Double Dragon. Like, I had to put this on here. Like, one of the greatest beat 'em ups. It's not that long. Wait, is it that's regular Double Dragon, or that's not Super Double Dragon? Oh man. Well, either way, Double Dragon as a series, in a sense, as a kid, this really had me hooked. Dude, I grew up on the freaking cartoon show and the game. Mega Man X. Mega Man X automatic goes on here. One of my favorite Capcom games ever made. So well done, the first one. Love it. Another fighting game from the 90s, Mortal Kombat. No brainer there. Mortal Kombat. 90s kid, grew up on this. And this makes the list because this is the other fighting game franchise that really got me, hooked into it as a kid. This and Street Fighter were my jam back then. Couldn't stop playing them. And, got Mortal Kombat 2, got into Mortal Kombat 3, and went from there. Resident Evil 2 goes up on here. First ever horror game I really got into and dug and just loved. Fell in love with this game. If it wasn't for Resident Evil 2, I probably wouldn't be as much of a horror fan as I am now. But then again, also, with the help of my brother, I would say he was like an influence too in his own right to make me watch horror movies with him as a young kid. So I already had this sort of sense of love for horror movies, and then this came along and added to that and got me into horror games in the video game realm. So I just absolutely love it. Final Fantasy X. Love this show on the PS2, dude. This was revolutionary at the time with the stuff they were doing, from storytelling to gameplay to just other aspects in general, like the visuals at the time of this. Holy hell. Another game. This is my absolute #1 favorite game of all time. And this is a comfort game for me. I'll come back to this, play it. I've beaten it several times on the PS2, and just had fun, just losing myself in this game, honestly. Doing all the different side stuff in here, hunting down the Aeons, trying to get all the celestial weapons, Oh my god. The one thing I don't like, though, is the freaking celestial weapon where you gotta, dodge lightning, I think, 100, 200 times? That's still annoying, but overall, the game is a 10 out of 10 to me. Final Fantasy VII. That's another must that goes on this list. Resident Evil 4. That has to make the list as well, too. Holy hell. Resident Evil 4 is such a history-making game. So many games are influenced to this day still because of this game. Yeah. Is this the OG? Turtles in Time? Turtles in Time was one of my favorite beat-em-ups as a kid. 4-player arcade. Whenever I was able to get the money to play it, I would always do it. Go there, play it. Play with randoms. That was sort of this whole social media or social gathering stuff before online gaming became a thing, right? You would go to the arcade and hope, you meet some cool kids there, friends, that want to game with you on arcade, And sometimes you make some great friends. So this is such a great banger of a game, dude. Devil May Cry 3. Even though I've played Devil May Cry 1, I actually haven't played Devil May Cry 2 and beat that. I played Devil May Cry 1. 3 was the one that really shined to me before 5 came out. I think the other Devil May Cry, though, that needs to go on here because I played and beat it before, is 5. What an amazing fucking game. And I still got to play Special Edition where you get to play as Virgil. I want to go through this game at some point again. Devil May Cry 5 is just chef's kiss. Mwah. Holy hell. Devil May Cry 5 came back and is a banger. God of War, and I don't mean 2018. No, 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 no. I don't mean 2018. I mean the original God of War, because without the original God of War, we would not have the God of War remake or reboot. We would not have Ragnarok. We would not have the other God of War games. God of War, for me, was that game you would just play when you're pissed the fuck off, right? It was such a great game. You can just really release your stress out on, because the game made you feel powerful. The game was embraced your inner rage. Uncharted 2 makes the list. This, of course, makes the list. If you've not played this game, holy hell, this is a great example of how you make essentially a blockbuster movie into a video game that doesn't have a movie in it. Sure, we eventually got an Uncharted movie that Sony did, but that was just kind of trash, in my opinion. This felt like a blockbuster movie in video game form that wasn't even based on any already established movie franchise. NVC 2, it goes on the list too as the other fighting game that really, had a positive impact on me, and I love it, had fun. Wasn't always the best at it, because I definitely spent more time with Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat than this, but still love playing this in the arcade, dude. This is just one of the greatest games, in my opinion, still to this day. Assassin's Creed 2, my favorite Assassin's Creed game ever. Ezio is the best assassin for me, in my opinion. This game really transcended the series into the next level. Assassin's Creed 1, it was fine. It was a good game, right? But man, when they learned from their mistakes at the time from the first game and improved the quality of the game in 2, and they made 2 such a banger, dude. And to the point that Ezio got a trilogy just for himself. No other character. Soul Calibur 4 was the shit. Don't get me wrong, it's flawed. It is a flawed fighting game. But holy hell, did I spend a ton of hours playing this game with friends. I would go to a friend's house or come to my place. We would just have matches for hours and hours, just beating the hell out of each other in this game. I would have fun playing people online this game on the PS3. They're not the best online, but holy hell, they had Darth Vader in here as guest characters, freaking Yoda as guest characters, Star Killer as a guest character. And just the roster was so damn good. Final Fantasy 14, in my opinion, the best MMO today. A redemption story for this game, because the original version was trash. Came out 2010, and 3 years later, they just revamped it, changed around, made it Realm Reborn, and saved that game. And it is one of the greatest comeback stories in video game history. And it's still celebrated today. This is such a fantastic Final Fantasy MMO. This is an obvious one if you know me. I love the shit out of Bloodborne. It was, I'm trying to remember if it was I don't think it was my first Souls game I actually beat though, but I did. It was probably the first one I bought though. To be real with you, I think the one I beat before this one was maybe Dark Souls 3 with a friend, maybe. But either way though, the challenge and the setting of this game, and the boss fights and the different builds you can do and the weapons and anything like that, it's so good. I love saying I love the sort of Lovecraftian but Victorian type of setting, and the whole weirdness of it and the lore of it too. Regardless of future games like Elden Ring, Sekiro have more quality life stuff in them than this one. And unfortunately, Sony hates us still. Won't make a remaster to this for the PS5 at least. Come on, dude. Remaster this shit, please. I don't know. But to me, it goes down as one of the greatest games of all time, and it deserves more love. Second favorite, Elden Ring, makes the list as well. Hands down. Fantastic game. It doesn't beat number one Souls game for me, even though it's a open world and adds a lot of quality life stuff to it, and there's a shit ton of build variety. And I love the lore and story of it, but I don't know. You can make Elden Ring easy mode. On a first playthrough, you can make Elden Ring very much easy mode, more easier than Bloodborne. Bloodborne is still very challenging, and I say the most difficult Souls game to this day. That's my opinion on that. That's why Elden Ring's second. But Elden Ring is a game changer. Elden Ring has made history. It's revolutionary. It changed the video game industry forever. Flat out. Kingdom Hearts 2. Once again, another game that's a sequel to the first game that just expand upon what the foundation already been built on, the foundation that was there. Kingdom Hearts 2 is such a great game, and I feel it's the best game in the series overall. Hades, bro. freaking Hades, dude. Oh my god, like the game that like made roguelikes popular. Holy shit, man, is this a freaking amazing game. 10 out of 10, dude. Hades is fucking dope. Like, you can try it out, you got to. And we're getting a sequel to this thing? Man, this changed up how roguelikes and like indie games, it's like that, you know, should be. And actually, to some people, this isn't even an indie game. It's like more like the studio's bigger now. The people behind this are bigger now. The studio, they're probably more like a third party or like AA at this point. I think Dead Space 2 is going to make the list as well. As like sort of the like secondary horror franchise I really got into and dug. Like, because outside Resident Evil, there's not a super ton of horror game franchises that really hooked me in. This did. Holy hell. Metal Gear Solid 4 and Metal Gear Solid 2. My favorite Metal Gears of the series. Played a shit ton of these two games back in the day. I know Metal Gear 1's great, and like that's what started the Metal Gear Solid 1 and the older Metal Gears start off, but you know, something about these two games that really just affected me and were a great part of my childhood growing up. I think this is a good one to do as well. Lies of P was so impactful. Like that game is a 10 out of 10. I want to go through it again. That's a game I can play over and over, make it, you know, and just have so much fun with it. Different builds, different playthroughs, things like that. They've got DLC on the way. It's sold very well, you know. They're making a sequel. I cannot wait for that. Mass Effect motherfucking 2. This shit. Whew! I never played 1, right? I never played beating 1, but I got in the Mass Effect with 2, baby. And I argue I like this better than 1. You know, I haven't played 1 yet, but I know it's going to be better story-wise than 1. I played and beaten 3. But, man, Mass Effect 2 is something else. Yakuza 0 is my overall favorite Yakuza game because of the story, the characters, what you can do in that game is incredible. The Last of Us. I can't believe I didn't. When I was thinking about Uncharted 2 earlier, I was trying to think, man, was something else from Naughty Dog did? Yeah, The Last of Us for me. Oh my god! And I ain't talking about the remaster, not the original. The original, a masterpiece in storytelling, in character development. Oh my god! 10 out of 10. Love this game. This is so impactful to me. Love it, love it, love it. Hate it too. I hate it too. For story and character reasons. NW2. Reason being, for some of you who don't know, I used to be very much into Call of Duty. NW2 was the first Call of Duty for me that got me into it. And I don't put Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. I do like Modern Warfare 3 a little bit better overall when it comes to the multiplayer, but if not for MW2, I would not have gotten to MW3. Monster Hunter motherfucking world, dude. Yeah, that's my list. That's where I'm at with that. Yeah. I'm happy with that. I'm satisfied. Shit ton of content, dude. Once again, Capcom making this list with another game of theirs that I fell in love with. Like, I never played any of the previous Monster Hunters, and this came out in 2018 and was just a freaking massive hit. And the crazy thing is, you know, I tried the beta out, didn't even like it at first, right? Didn't even like it at first, and I had to give it another shot. And I think at one point, like, I guess because I didn't have really anybody to play with and whatnot, I think I like traded in or something like that, and then I end up getting it back when I have people to play with. And then once I have people to play with and consist with and start really getting into it and dive into the builds that you can do with the weapons and everything like that, I was like, okay, I'm having fun now. Let's go. And I'm glad I did that too. I'm glad I didn't like just get rid of it and never go back to it, because I would have missed out on so much. And the end game in this is so good. And even though Rise is great too and a much better game in some ways too with quality life stuff, this is a much visually more impressive game, a more technical, better game too. You know, with so much more you can do. The end game is so much better than Rise. Rise's end game is not that good compared to this. Fatalis was freaking dope to take on. Holy hell, my favorite monster to beat. I didn't beat him solo. I tried a couple times. I had to beat him with randoms or friends, but yeah. This game, and I'm hoping they come up with Monster Hunter World too. But yeah, this is my greatest games of all time. I'm happy with this. These are all games I would very much happily go back to and play and get a huge amount of joy and fun out of.